Lyndon B Johnson was the 36th President of America, who was sworn into office on an airplane after the assassination of John F. Kennedy. His presidency was dominated by the Vietnam War, although his policies resulting in significant anti-poverty measures and civil rights programs should also be remembered. Lyndon B Johnson was born on August 27, 1908, near Stonewall, Texas. Lyndon Baines Johnson was named after W.C. Lyndon, a lawyer and family friend. Baines was his mother's maiden name. Lyndon B. Johnson came from a family of ranchers and farmers. Lyndon B. Johnson died on January 22, 1973, in Johnson City, Texas. The career of Lyndon B. Johnson included the roles of teacher, politician, and statesman. He received an excellent education at Southwest Texas State Teachers College and Georgetown Law School. He became the 36th President of America in 1963 and served for 6 years until 1969. Lyndon B. Johnson married Claudia Taylor, who was known as Lady Bird. When she was a small child, her nurse described her as purty as a ladybird, and this nickname replaced her actual first name for the rest of her life. Her family called her Lady, but her husband always called her Bird. They had 2 daughters named Linda Bird and Lucy Baines. Lyndon B. Johnson belonged to the Democrat political party. He was 55 years old when he was inaugurated as the 36th president. LBJ came to power when John F. Kennedy was shot and killed in Dallas, Texas on November 22, 1963. Hubert Humphrey stood as vice president. Lyndon B. Johnson was an imposing figure, standing at 6 feet 3 inches tall and weighing approximately 210 pounds when he became president. He had blue eyes and black hair, which turned gray as he grew older. He was often described as being raw and boisterous. He also had courage and received the Silver Star in a combat mission. LBJ was sworn in as president aboard Air Force One following the assassination of JFK. During his presidency, he played a key role in major events of the era. The Vietnam conflict was a prolonged war between the Communist armies of North Vietnam, who were supported by the Chinese, and the armies of South Vietnam, who were supported by the United States. The war had started in 1954, and opposition to the war escalated during his presidency. At home, the Civil Rights Act was passed in 1964, and Medicare and Medicaid programs aided his war on poverty. On a somber note, both Dr. Martin Luther King and Robert Kennedy were assassinated during his presidency. During his life, Lyndon B. Johnson suffered from various health problems, including angina, gallbladder disease, heart disease, and multiple heart attacks. Lyndon B. Johnson died of heart failure on January 22, 1973, in Johnson City, Texas. His death came the day before a ceasefire was signed in Vietnam, and almost a month after former President Harry S. Truman died. Johnson was regarded as a highly competent politician and was honored with a state funeral. He was buried at the LBJ Ranch. So ends our short biography about the life of Lyndon B. Johnson, whose presidency was dominated by the Vietnam War but should also be remembered for his significant anti-poverty measures and civil rights programs. The next U.S. president was Richard Nixon.